We're going to introduce ourselves for those of you who don't know who we are. And I do see quite a few, I'm not going to say strangers, but names we don't know. Then we're going to get into a little update on what's going down here in Panama with the COVID and stuff like that. And then we're going to do something a little special today. I get asked all the time, email after email, what's going on with real estate here? Is because of COVID, is everything crashing? Well, we got a special guest on. I'm going to introduce you in about 5 minutes, who's kind of going to give us that update of what's going on down here. So we should begin, Oscar. What do you think?
Yes, we should do.
You go first. Who are you?
Who am
And why
I?
are you here?
And why I'm here? All right. Hello, Donna. Well, my name is Oscar Peña. I'm originally from Cali, Colombia, southwest of the country, neighbors of Panama. I lived in Costa Rica for 3 years and a half between 2006 and 2009, working in a hotel and tourism industry. I studied hotel and tourism industry back in Colombia, where I found out my passion about like being a facilitator. Just love the customer service and tourism as well. When I moved into Panama in 2009, between those years trying to establish myself here, I found out there was an opportunity since I have learned a second language and also to work for a long time with the North American clients from US, from Canada, even from Europe. People living here in Panama, I realized that they have struggled less sometimes to get things done. And me as a foreigner, that was even complicated. That was actually one of the motivations where I started doing expat services. And in 2011, I started doing private expat relocation tours. And since when I met Rod, we started working together in tourism industry. But we decided to switch that to more focus into relocation tours and doing more, what do you say to that? Just dedicated on that one, but also more keeping the customized factor in hospitality and make sure people don't struggle with the transition to the culture and also to the things that was done in Panama. And, yeah.
And there's more.
Well, there's a lot more, but I'll tell you a lot more when you're here with me and the van.
Yeah, you won't be able to shut them up for 7 days.
Yeah.
Anyway, my name is Rod Larrabee. I'm from Vancouver, Canada. I moved here almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was in the corporate type world, and I've been with owned a publishing company in the U.S. And but I met Oscar in my first year here because I needed help. I came here by myself. I packed up some suitcases, moved here, and things kind of fell apart for me. If I wouldn't have met Oscar, I probably wouldn't still be here. I needed help. I needed help getting immigration. I needed help getting my driver's license. I needed interpretation help. I needed, like, it was crazy. And Oscar provided those services at that time. We quickly became great friends, and we started doing open up a local tourist company together up here in Phuket, where we both live. And
attending scripts.
years ago, about 2015, where we were looking at doing something more in the private and semi-private group tours. And that's what we do today. We do private tours and we do groups, maximum 6 to 10 people. And we also have recently launched, we haven't given a lot of fanfare yet because we're COVID, no one's coming here yet.
Yeah.
But we also do Panama expat service. So people who are already here and that need help, they can get housing assistance for getting the right health insurance plan, for getting that dog they left back at home here, importing the cars, to do all that type of stuff. So
And if we don't know the answer, we promise you we'll get the answer.
we'll find it because we
yes,
don't know everything.
exactly.
People think we do, but we don't. So, yeah. And that brings me to, oh no, quickly I want to go into what many of you guys, we got about 75 people here, it looks like so far. What many of you guys, everyone's got a similar interest here. You're not on here because you don't want to come to Panama. You're on this call because you're thinking about Panama as an option, or you've decided and you just keep rebooking that ticket over and over again. Right, Carl and John? When's it going to open? Now, a month ago, we had one of these calls and I gave you a COVID update. Do I have anything new? All I can tell you is I feel things are getting better here. The bottom line numbers are pretty simple. A month ago when we talked, we had 180, 190 people in our ICUs. Now we're sitting around 150. So even though we have way more cases, less are ending up in the ICUs, taking the load off, and our RT number, which was way above 1.5, as of Sunday sits at 1.12. To get that number below 1, the virus is no longer spreading. They start reopening the airports. So we are closer today, I believe, to you guys coming to Panama than we were a month ago. I'm still not going to give you a date. You know, we're hoping this fall we're going to be doing some of our tours. We got some of you scheduled on private tours this fall, and we're still optimistic. We know for sure by January we're going to be running tours. So we're selling tours. We're into 2021, but other than that, that is the update for today. If you got any direct questions about that, don't forget in the chat, we have, that's where you're gonna, if you wanna post your questions, start posting them now in the chat. So when we get to them, or you can ask a question live once we open up the questions. But we have one more thing I wanna talk about. I've gotten more than 10 emails in the last week about real estate. Now, what you'll find out, and some of you guys were on our tours and you know for a fact, Oscar and I do not sell real estate. We are not real estate brokers, never have been, not interested, it's not our thing. So when we started our private and semi-private tours, we had to find someone to align with. And in Panama, that's difficult. We looked at many different companies out there and they're all high pressured and, you know, buy. We're going to advise you on the tour. Don't buy before you get here. Don't buy the week you get here. Rent, make sure you like the area. But half of you that move here, based on our numbers that we've seen, half of expats that move here buy something in the first year or maybe two. And because you sold something back in the States and you want to,
yeah,
and you want that ownership again. Where half of you are going to rent. Oscar and I rent. We've been renting for 10 years here. And we're fine with that.
Yeah.
Like everyone is different. Everyone has their own things. But so
if you make that decision, sorry to call you out.
Yeah.
Is that why we have worked with the most reliable people and also the most.
Remember where that girl was from? That redheaded girl in Panama with Oscar?
I'm sorry?
Remember that redheaded girl from Panama with Oscar?
Oh, Megan couldn't be with us tonight.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What's that Ray?
She Irish or she Scottish?
I know. Don't know.
She's still here.
Everyone's leaving now because Megan's not with us tonight. Okay, I'm not going to meet you guys because I'm just going to do an introduction. Okay. And Mike, I'll get you to unmute yourself. So, so we searched around for a company. Number one, they had to have offices all across this country. Number two, they had to aggressively market rentals. So we chose a company called Inside Panama. Mike has been down here in Panama longer than us. He has a 30-year real estate history. He is not one of those high-pressured guys. His lovely wife owns and runs a rental agency in the Coronado, and they have a division, rentals division out here in Boquete and other areas too. He has brought on exclusive staff just to handle that aspect of it, so you don't feel you're being pressured if you decided, I'm just going to rent here. So we have those people for you. Now, the questions I've been getting is, because of COVID, is everything half price, as people are finding on Facebook, or they're forwarding me these emails that they get that said, oh yeah, no, this house is 1/3 of the cost it was a year ago. So Mike, I just want you to take 5 minutes, and it's Mike is the owner of Inside Panama. I want you to take 5 minutes to tell us what is the market like right now, and in your expertise, I know you don't have a crystal ball. Where do you see it going?
Well, thanks for having me, guys. It's a pleasure to be with you. You know, Panama is a very unique market. Most of the foreigners that come to Panama to buy anything typically pay cash. Um, and when they ultimately get around to listing it to sell it with me, several years has gone by. They've lived in Panama. Now they're ready to leave for one reason or another. So
Okay.
when we sit
Can I
down to
ask
look,
why?
sorry.
Sorry about that, Mike.
Okay. So typically when they are ready to sell, of course, they expect that they're going to be able to get everything that they paid for it out, including everything that they put into it after they bought it. And unfortunately, that's just really not the case. The market in Panama across the board, approximately 6 or 7 years ago, went down about 30%, 2 presidents ago. And it never really recovered from that. And but Panama is unique in that the sellers, as evidenced by the average market time, is approximately 2 years. They have staying power because they paid cash. They don't have any debt. So though they may want to leave, some of them maybe even urgently because of illnesses or what have you, they're not in a big hurry to market that they're going to sell their home for less than they've got in it. However, I do think that we're definitely in a buyer's market. I have many sellers that have been on the market for a long time, and their perception is that post-COVID, property values are going to go down. So some are contacting me saying, listen, I'm willing to look at all offers and take less than I'm asking, but I'm not ready to lower my asking price and advertise that. Because if I lower my advertising price, then I'm going to get offers for less than that. So, and they're right. But to answer your question, I think that overall there'll be some definite bargains out there and some definite deals. But you're really just going to have to look at properties, evaluate what it's worth to you, and make an offer for what you're willing to pay for it. When I buy things, I'm actually pricing them as though the market goes down another 10 or 15%, and what I still consider a good deal then. What seems like a good deal today may not be down the road. But at any rate, I also think that what's happening across the world is going to affect the market here in Panama. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of people coming to Panama from various locations in the world. And typically that's driven by either the economy where they're coming from or the politics where they're coming from. Lots of Europeans unhappy with many things there. Currency they're not comfortable with. South Africans are fleeing genocide. My phone's ringing off the hook right now with Americans. You can imagine that a bit concerned with what's going on there. So if there's a flood of people here and it eats up the inventory that's here, I guess that could make the property values go back up. So I guess really you could build a case either way, Rod. I think that right now my gut feeling is there's some deals to be had. Overall, if a lot of people come and buy up the inventory, I welcome that, but I don't see that happening anytime very soon.
Yeah, okay. On the rental side, I really watch them a lot because people are always asking me to find rentals for them. I've seen a drop here in Boquete. Not huge, but have you seen that down in Coronado too?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Units that were renting for $1,500 a month. People are coming in and getting deals for $700, $800, $900 a month.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So it's the rent. The owners just want somebody in there, you know. Somebody's better than no rent. You know?
Now, guys, what we always do in this call, the next day by noon tomorrow, I'm going to send you a link to the recording. But I also include a bunch of stuff we're talking about. I'll send you Michael's contact information. I'll send you a bunch of examples from his website of what's selling in the different area and what's renting in the different areas. So you can take a good look and compare what's available here in Panama. Thank you, Mike. Any closing comments there? Or?
No, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. I'm available, of course, to anybody that would like can contact me directly at your convenience for any questions, comments, concerns.
Yeah, we can go
beautiful.
Inside Panama Real Estate.
Thank you, Mikey.
Contact Mike. Mike and his wife join us on our group tours always and stuff like that, and talk to the people about the market here in Panama and what's available. And Martha always shows us some really nice beach rentals. So you'll get to know him if you come with us.
Yeah, she's awesome doing program management, dude.
Okay. Yeah, we actually like her better than Mike. Okay.
I like you, Mikey.
Does anyone want to ask the first question? By voice, you have to unmute yourself, remember. Or do we go to the list? Anyone?
Who's going to be the brave?
Francis.
Francis. What is
my question's for Mike. I know you said that a lot of the properties are bought cash, but are there opportunities to like either not get a mortgage or the owner picks up financing? That's what I'm trying to say.
There are situations, and even more now, sellers are willing to consider a lot of options, Bitcoin, gold, but the short answer is yes, there are some sellers that will finance, but typically they're a bit of a shorter fuse, 3 to 5 years. So you'd have to have sort of an exit strategy where you were anticipating a windfall of income to either selling a home where you're coming from or a business or some way that you'd be able to get out from under that mortgage.
Okay.
Mortgages here from a Panama bank would be very difficult for most. It can take 6 months to a year to process. I think the maximum age it has to be paid off by is 70. So if you're already in your, someone who's 40 and working here, yeah, it would work for them. But someone who's retired and on a Social Security, it still would be difficult because that payment would be so large because it has to be paid off by the time you're 70.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions? Okay, we're done for the day. No, just kidding. Sorry.
Why is everybody so shy?
Yeah, really. Somebody I see from Diane.
I have a question.
Yes. Go ahead, Kristen.
I have a 9-year-old son, and we are seriously considering moving to Boquete with my mom, who's retired. I'm looking for a neighborhood with a lot of expat children. I want him, he's very social, and I'd like him to make some friends. Are there any specific neighborhoods or communities, gated communities, that have a lot of expat school-age children?
Well, that's a great question because here's the guy with the 7-year-old son.
Yeah. Okay. So, and what's your boy's name?
Craig.
Craig. Nice to meet you, buddy. The son, his name is Phoenix, and he's gonna be 8 in Halloween. He's a Halloween boy. I live right now, or we live right now in Alto Boquete. There is options. For him, it's not gonna be a problem to socialize, especially if he's a social kid. It won't be a problem to socialize or learn a second language. My son, well, I live in this area, so if that works, this area works for you, they can be. I will be very happy to introduce him to my boy. And he's half U.S. and half Panamanian. His mom is from United States, but he lives here full time.
Nice.
Here. So neighborhoods can be Alto Boquete, can be a gated community. It's all about how you feel comfortable with, but is as much I will tell you, it's better for you that you experience yourself, because you gotta see what it feels right for you. But Boquete or Panama, generally speaking, is always safe. I mean, it's very safe in the areas, and especially Boquete is very easygoing. There is a very right now Boquete or Panama is a lot of multicultural, so he can be friends with Panamanian kids. They are raised or go to bilingual schools, get involved with other nationalities. Also, gated communities, like for instance, Valle Escondido, there is not that many kids there.
Yeah, mostly single.
How about
Yeah.
Boquete?
Yeah, Boquete Country Club.
Canyonville?
not many kids there. So usually,
most of the gated communities are seniors.
and most seniors, yes.
Oh.
Live in the neighborhoods.
Yes.
Okay.
And I have some neighbors that just moved here 2 blocks away, and their son is how old is their son? Like around 10, 11 years old, and also they just moved from the States. So I think it will be fine.
Okay.
I have a question. What is the, Panama City is back in lockdown. What are the conditions up in the interior, up in Chiriquí and Boquete in particular? Are you restricted to days out?
No, there's two provinces in the country that are locked down, Panama and Panama West. There are three provinces that are reopening it like a lot right now. In Boquete, Chiriquí, we have a weekend lockdown right now. I don't think that's going to last very long.
No.
But other than that, we can go out whenever we want during the day. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what about the flea market on Tuesday morning? Is that going now, or is it?
It is not going right now, but it will keep going. And I got great news. We're not going to have one, but we're going to have two markets.
They're
on
expanding
Tuesday.
big
They're
time.
expanding, yeah. So that's going to be awesome.
And they're just meeting with MINSA, which is our health department right now, and what they have to do to get them reopened. It'll be part of Block 3, which is the retail. They could probably fit under the grocery too, because it's mostly food.
Yeah.
But I can see that reopening by September.
Yep.
Okay, so during the week, Monday through Friday, there's no restrictions on going out, but the weekends is restricted.
Yes.
Yeah, but the weekends, they won't last.
Yeah, no, we've had, like in the last 2 weeks, like for the 8 weeks before, everything was rising as far as the RT numbers and the hospital beds. And the last 2 weeks, everything's going down. So
I do get a strong feeling. I mean, I hope I'm right, but I can always be wrong. That we're going to be way more open by middle of August. So, because I think we're already passing the worst part of the mess.
I can't tell you. I noticed in the chat someone's talking about airlines. I'm not even going to say when the airport is supposed to open August 22nd. United is open for August 23rd.
It's supposed to open in June.
Copa is not flying till September 4th, but it's just a wait and see right now. They are doing, they have opened up another airport, Panama Pacifico, for international transfer flights and stuff like that. So they're starting to get the airports moving a little bit here. So.
What about the airport of Rio Hato?
Yeah, no, not Rio Hato, Panama Pacifico. The old,
No, I know, but I mean, is that not
the old Howard Air Force Base.
Yeah, Howard. What? But Rio Hato, they rebuilt that, and they get what are they having?
Yeah, that was renewed in 2013, 14. It was renewed that 12 was renewed that airport, but it's only for other flights, not for commercial flights.
Yeah, it's only for the tour operators.
For tour operators and for massive tourist people that come to the all-inclusive resorts from Canada or some areas in the States. All right, let's move on with the next question.
Is there any opportunity to meet with an attorney and to open a bank account while on the tour? Yes, we do that on the tour.
Yep.
You'll personally meet, and if you want to open a bank account, you'll bring the right documents, and you'll do it the day after the tour.
Bring the paperwork, bring the money, boom.
Whatever you read online, that opening up a bank account is horrible and terrible and can't be done for U.S. citizens is fake news. Like, we will get you, it's just some very simple paperwork as far as a page from your tax return the last 2 years, a bank reference letter. You'll send that to the bank manager here, and then the day you're actually here to meet with them, they'll have everything set up, and you make a small deposit and you're done. So it's very simple if you know the right banks and have the right connections, I guess. Other people, like honestly, you know why they fail? Because they walk into a bank, Banco Nacional. I want to
Yeah.
open a bank account. Well, no, Banco Nacional is a
It's a government
Panamanian-owned bank, and they open bank accounts for Panama citizens and residents. So,
Yes.
you know, you just got to know the right banks.
Exact. And let's words, when you come to sign in and join us and give us the opportunity to show you this beautiful country, but also there is another things you will learn, then you now might be not in Kansas anymore. So it's feasible, but if you need to follow the paperwork. It's just about details, because sometimes it's about people can forget one detail paperwork, and yeah, it's not possible. But yeah, you will find out that all the answers, and we're not gonna lie to you. We're gonna direct you in the best ways possible.
Yeah, we'll meet right in the attorney's office.
Mm-hmm.
And you will be able to, like, there'll be a group meeting. You will be able to ask a private question if you want. So, yeah, so you'll get all your answers there.
Mm-hmm.
And you're under no obligation to use them, but they're going to give you the price and tell you what their services cost. Just the big thing, their game, just like we spent a lot of time picking Mike, we also picked a lot of time picking our lawyers. And I've had people, through no fault of their own, they go online, they find someone, oh, this lawyer is even good on Facebook and they're $100 cheaper. I'm going to use them. And then a month later, they're phoning me for advice because things aren't working out. And sorry, when we, with our lawyer, we have our own administrator that handles all of our accounts. Oscar can phone him up anytime and say, Alejandro, what's going on? This person emailed you 2 days ago. You haven't replied yet. So that's the type of service you get with us. Hey, Oscar, Carol wants to know basically a quick itinerary, the towns that we visit on our tour.
Okay, quick itinerary. You ready? Okay, we get Panama City. We spend 2 nights in Panama City. We do a the most important tour in the city to show you the most beautiful things like Canal, the Bryan Museum. We meet the lawyers, one of the lawyers in Panama City. Then the next day we go to Coronado. Then we got to meet Mike and his beautiful wife, Martha. And then we spend the cool morning there. In the afternoon, we go to Valle de Anton. We get to check out the beautiful town. We spend the night there. The next day, we drive through the mountains on a really cool road. You can see beautiful. You can see the ocean even from mountains. We go to Chitre. We stop to, we end up in Pedací, and then we spend one night there. All over day, that's the day that we drive the most, and we go all the way from Pedací, which is the peninsula of Azuero. We go all the way to another beach on the Pacific side called Las Lajas, and we stay in a really cool resort, Show Pony. We stay for one night there. That afternoon is all about chillaxing, chillaxing. So that's it. We spend the afternoon there. We got some cool dinner. We get to meet the owners. They're very cool guys from Canada. And next day in the morning, try to leave as quick as possible. We reach out Boquete to be part of the markets, to show you Boquete. And we try to spend, and that we still want to do some minor changes, probably spend more time in Boquete, because most people wanted to spend close to the area. We always can be flexible, and that's why we love our small group of 10 people, or even less. Because if some people agree, we can be flexible to change the schedule, or schedule only is black and white about the places we're staying. But it's always in a gray zone to the timing, what places you want to see, what places you don't want to see. So we always play the dynamic according to the people's feeling, the group feeling. Yep.
Yeah, perfect. You'll find out, like, we treat our people well. I always say that on our tour.
But not disaster day.
No.
No, treat him really bad.
Yeah, no, he gets the cheap room with the bunk. But we have, on our tour, we have these 7 nights in hotels, and half of those nights you're actually going to be in a suite. Like, we don't cheap out. You're not in Motel 6. You're not sitting in a hammock in a hay thing, but you're actually in multi-room suites. The show pony, as you said, the Las Lajas, like we rent out an entire resort. And I know there's only 10 people, but it's really cool to have this resort, swimming pool, and restaurant,
Right.
basically to ourselves.
But I have to correct him because I'm in the hotel industry for years. That's not a resort. It's a beach boutique resort.
It's a boutique resort.
Exactly.
That's what we like. We don't put you in a Marriott, in a Courtyard Marriott next to a shopping center. That's not us. So we stay in some of the coolest places that you'll find in Panama. Even in Boquete, your room here for 2 nights is a suite. Like, you have a kitchen, living room, and your own bedroom. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, most important is you always wanted to see and to experience the culture, and no sugarcoating. There's gonna be ups and downs because you need to experience. So let's say one day we're in a hotel, the hotel don't have generator. Well, most of the hotels have generators, but if power goes off,
yeah, the power goes off. We light candles.
Yeah. Things like that. So actually the tour is pre-training for living in Latin America.
Okay, Sandra, I have 2 small dogs. So do I. Well, 1 small, 1 medium. How difficult would it be to bring the dogs here if I decide to live there? Do they have to go through quarantine? Now, I've said this before, I should do webinars just on bringing your dogs here because it takes an hour. So I'm just going to briefly go through it, Sandra, and then in tomorrow's email, you're going to have a link to an article that I wrote. It's a long article, 2,000-word article that gives you all the steps. It is simple, but not easy. If you mark down the 15 steps and do them all at the right time in the right order, your dogs will arrive here, they'll be in your arms, and they'll be in your new home. If you do something wrong, they're going to go into a 40-day quarantine. That's going to cost you a fortune. So,
or not be able to get in at all.
Yeah, yeah. So it is touchy. We have, for our previous tour members, many of them, we have helped them with the process, because if you don't speak any Spanish, there's all the paperwork that you sent here, you're not going to be able to confirm that they have it. You're going to have to arrive here during specific times and days at the airport to make sure the vet is there, or somehow arrange an appointment and pay the vet some cash on the side to see that he gets there. The paperwork, when I do it with people, I manually check all the paperwork myself because I've done it many times, because if there's an error on it, they're going to refuse it. And see, what they have here is home quarantine. The cost per pet, not including what, the cost per pet's going to be around $500. And that there's 130 quarantine, there's a $15 vet bill, there's all the authentications and couriers you're going to need to get the documents done. There's your vet visit in the States, and the $200 that the airline charges you. So that's a brief rundown. I will send tomorrow, you'll have a link, you can read that article, you can decide if you want to do it yourself. But in our Panama Expat Services business, that's one of the services we provide. We help you bring the dogs here. We will even, let's say you're moving to Boquete, Oscar will drive to Panama City, pick you up at the airport, deal with customs if there's any issues there, find you an overnight hotel that takes dogs, and bring you here the next day. So we do have end-to-end service like that.
I'm pretty good being Mama Goose. I have to say that.
There we go. Okay. So Oscar, in your infinite wisdom, what are the most popular places people are retiring to? This is from Carol.
All right, I got top 3. It is Coronado, or Coronado area, Pedasí, Boquete. Top 3.
In which order do you think?
In our experience, in my experience with our customers, Boquete, Coronado, Pedasí.
Yeah. In Coronado, you mean big
the whole area.
Yeah.
Yeah, not just the Coronado where Mike lives in the whole residential gated community.
Like you don't want to be Mike's neighbor. Right?
No, I should be really lucky if you're Mike's neighbor. No, but there is another areas nearby which a good friend of us actually went on a tour with David and Bridget. Is New Gorgona. So it's plenty options. But once you come here, you can hear this place. Oh, everyone talk about this place. Oh, everyone talk about this place. it's okay to have that information, but only you, when you come here and experience, it's not, you don't have to take personally what people say and what I said to you. I try to show you the best from a neutral standpoint, but you need to feel it. You need to experience if the weather works for you, what you see works for you, the convenience. Because you have to check also what is convenient. You need to move around, you need to travel, you need to connect to Panama City faster. Some things that you will realize once you are in Panama, once you are with us in a tour.
Mhm.
So, but that's the top three. But you know, if your adventures might even work out other places like Santa Fe, Veraguas, we don't go there, but eventually there is places that you will find out more, because Panama is still a lot of areas undiscovered. But that's the number three.
Yeah, if you're interested in more of all the expat communities, go to our website, retireinpanamatours.com, and then on the right-hand side, you're going to see a section called categories. Look under expat interviews. And we do interviews with different expats that live here from the different expat communities. And we're just really bringing out that section a lot right now. I think there's 4 of them in there, and there's another 4 being interviewed in the next few weeks that are going to come out. So it's a good place to find that. Where is that? Okay, the DJ is still looking for the redhead.
DJ.
We are missing Megan Thompson tonight, our director of operations. She's usually on this calls with us. She sits in the middle so we don't start fighting or anything like that. Right now, tonight, we're being very polite to each other. And we have to when we actually work side by side. Megan keeps us under control.
I gave him 2 sandwiches, that's why we're not fighting.
Okay. Please compare Volcan. Okay, there we go. Volcan, compare Volcan area and Boquete area for an active single person.
Well, okay, active. Depends how active, if you want to into farming, if you into developing a farm, Volcan is better. But the singleness, if you're trying to, it depends, because social life in Volcan is less than Boquete. So it's more a farming area. Boquete is more social area. You got like plenty restaurants. It's more tourist. Both can be working as a single active person, both. But it comes down like, what is your style? Like if you want to really be social, get around. With a tourist, we go a brewery company or different options, restaurants, Boquete will make more sense to you. But if you just want to be chill life, be active, maybe be more in the countryside where it's a lot of farms, maybe you got a project, that'll be the place to you. But also you can have it in Boquete. So that one, I guess you gotta see it. My best advice is you gotta see his experience, and but I will say Boquete probably would be in the more sense if you're a single and active person. I would say that.
Perfect. Yeah, we have nightclubs. Volcan doesn't.
We don't have nightclubs. Oh, sorry, just for me a nightclub is different meaning.
Yeah, okay. Well, we have bars.
Yeah.
Yep, that young people go to. Okay.
No, we have pretty fun nightlife in Boquete, open mics. We have live music. We used to. We're gonna get back that soon.
Yeah. Well, maybe in 2021 we'll have nightlife again. Okay, where is the best place to rent if you're close to 70 and very active and love the beach? A 70-year-old active lady that loves the beach.
Coronado.
Coronado. Okay.
Yes.
That's what I was going to say too. Yeah. Very active, lots of other expats, lots of things to do. There's clubs, there's weekly meetings, there's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, if you're a beach lover, you like to be active, very social, and have a blast, Coronado is the place. It's very cool spot and all the options. Mike is a really good tour guide about all the parties, right, Mike?
Yes. There we go. And if you're a golfer, he'll take you golfing every single day. Because he goes golfing every morning right now.
Only on days that end in Y.
Yeah. Okay, from Carl. Do you know if the deadline for immigration documents will be extended? Yeah, Carl and John. Yes. I talked to Lourdes last Friday about this with another client, and everything's being extended relative to when the airports are going to be open and stuff like that. So I don't know if you've talked to the attorney, if they've given you any information yet. Is this your, you can just nod yes or no, is this your final pickup of your documents, or is it the temporary, or which part?
Which you can also reply eventually
Yeah.
in the chat.
Hello.
There we
Can you
go.
hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we got we already have our documents. They're mailed to us. We have the apostille documents. We have the fingerprints.
Yeah.
We have everything in a little bundle ready to go. And then when we talked to Alejandro most recently, he said they will not extend the ones in August. They only extended until the 31st of July. So that's
yeah, if we haven't heard, like lots of things, tomorrow is the 31st of July, and they still haven't announced the extension of people's driver's licenses that you still can't get, because they're not giving appointments until August. So you'll find the government kind of like a week behind some of that stuff.
Yeah.
So there's going to be announcements next week. Okay, we're going to let you go 7 months or 8 months. So that's kind of what my conversation was with Lourdes. There's no confirmation yet, but we're expecting them to.
I call that the Panama style.
Panama
is it good?
style.
Is it good?
Get used to it.
Get used to it, because you gotta, once you come here to Panama, you gotta go with the flow. That's why, like, the expectations, you gotta, like, forget about it. Where you're just gonna come here to Panama and just absorb new information. Because Latin America, generally speaking, Latinos, we tell you, hey, yeah, tomorrow. That doesn't mean it's tomorrow.
I lived in Hawaii. I lived in Hawaii for 21 years, and it's like Hawaiian time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, is there talk about banning specific countries like the U.S.? No, we're not that far with the airport. Even I think when it's open, it's only going to be open for, when it originally opens, it'll be open for a few weeks for nationals and business and critical travel, and then they'll open it to the rest of the population. But there hasn't been any notices about banning any specific countries yet, so I haven't heard anything. So, okay, regarding Miss Jones, is it possible to book for one person, one bed, and switch to two people bed if my partner is able to attend by upgrading reservations to two people, one bed, 2 to 3 months prior? What I think you need to do on this one is contact me directly by email. What tour you want to book, because many of our tours are sold out 6 to 8 months in advance, and we can't literally add that extra person. So what I would do for you is book you as a double, and then make sure you confirm 3 months before that it is a double, because I can sell a single spot really easy. And so what I will do for you, Ms. Jones, is book for a double, but at half the deposit. And then I'll hold the spot for you until 3 months before the tour. And then if your partner's not coming with you, then I'll sell the other one as a single. So if you can just email me, info@retiringpanamatours.com, and what date you're looking to book at, you and I can work that out ourselves.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
We're easy. Wow.
Can you use your 401k to get a visa? Not a pensionado visa, no.
So somebody was giving me a hard time about Megan. I'm giving you a hard time about Francis. Where is Tito? And DJ, why are you not showing your face? Hey, Tito!
There we go. Oh,
DJ, where is your lovely wife? I'm just getting back. I'm getting some pressure because beautiful Megan is not here.
Okay, we're talking to Hansworth.
Right.
Hansworth Lee. To get a pensionado visa, you must, it's a permanent, lifelong pension from a government or corporate entity, and it has to be something that can be proven. You have to have a letter from it, which you basically get from Social Security. But even let's say you retired from IBM, and your pension, you retired at 60, and you don't have Social Security, IBM gives you a letter that you have a lifetime pension of X number of dollars per month. Yes, you can qualify. So your 401k or any amount of money will not qualify you for the pensionado visa. Okay, you have other options though. You don't need to get the pensionado visa. You can get a Friendly Nations visa, especially if you can show some income in the last 2 years, and it doesn't have to be a lot. And don't worry, because of your age, you can still take advantage of pensionado discounts. If you're 62 for a male, 57 for a woman, or 60 and 55, depending on where you go.
He got pissed because he offered this pensionado discount. He's only 56.
Yeah, I know. They keep offering me the discount. Stop it. I'm not 60.
And he's not pensionado, so yeah. Not saying he looks old, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
But
so the answer is no. You can't get the pensionado discount with the 401, but you could get a Friendly Nations visa as long as you're for one of the 50 Friendly Nations. And if not, there are other investment visas that you can get.
pensionado is always the best way to go. Second options, besides retiring.
Me, you're young. I always tell people this, like, Hansworth's 61. Are you done working forever, Hansworth? Are you never going to work again? Because you can't with your pensionado visa. There is some talk in the future about maybe allowing some people with pensionado visas. But I just can't see it happen because it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
They don't want people to come here to take jobs. They want them to come here because they got an income that they're going to spend here every month. Mm-hmm.
Now, I wanted to ask to that one. Even if you come to a Friendly Nations or pensionado, you can still be a business owner. So let's say if you want an entrepreneur, want to open a business, you can still do it. You can still be a business owner and not be resident.
Okay. Carl, we're very happy with the law firm you recommended. Thank you. Christine, who are the immigration attorneys that you recommend? We have inquired at Panama Offshore Legal Services. Are they registered? If you want to meet our immigration attorney, Christine, please go to our website, retireinpanamatours.com, click on visas on the menu, and fill in the form. We don't publicly address who they are because you know what happens? They get emails about nothing to do with immigration. They get emails as, hey, I'm looking for a rental. Yeah. And so if you qualify to meet them, meaning that you're serious and you are coming, and on the form, it'll qualify you, I will do an introductory email to introduce the two of you. It's a lady and a lady who works at the Panama City office, and a man with their business partner that works in the Boquete office, so it can cover you across the country. Now, if you want to get a comparable quote, I would do that, Christine. Let me introduce you. Now, Offshore Legal Services, I can talk about them. They are a good lawyer, but not for something like getting a pensionado visa. I've used Offshore Legal in the past. John is a great guy. Like, he's one of the partners there. They're amazing when you're setting up Panama corporations and have to link them to U.S. corporations and transfer price agreements. And I highly recommend them for the more complicated stuff. Yes, they do.
Okay, thank you.
So, but just to get a comparative quote, we can help you out with that. Okay.
Say, Rod.
We're getting started. Anyone have a voice question for us?
Rod?
Come on, bring it.
Rod, I have a question.
Sure. Hey, Patrick.
Hi, how you doing?
Right.
What is the average cost with the attorney fees and everything to, I guess, get there, reestablish there? Is there an average cost?
Yes, there is. For a single, you're looking at, for a pensionado, around $2,000. You're looking at about $5,000 for Friendly Nations. For the Friendly Nations ends up with the work visa. That's the big difference. And for a couple, you're looking at around $2,400 for the pensionado, and about $5,500 to $5,800 for the Friendly Nations.
So it's approximately about 10 grand.
No, that's for a couple. It's 5,800 in total.
Oh, okay. And one other quick question,
Yeah. Mhm.
if I may ask.
Sure.
Oscar had mentioned about the gated communities. Is there a reason that they're gated? How
Well-
is the crime?
No, well, one of the most famous gated communities here in Boquete is called Valle Escondido. And it was created because the who created Valle Escondido, Sam Talaferro, he created based in a book. What is the name of the book?
Atlas Shrugged.
So he had a dream to have a self-sustainable community, right? So they just wanted a community, but some people do it for security. And yes, it has the comfort because if you have a home in a gated community, it is all secure. But you can just turn the key and go, no problem. If you live in a neighborhood, well, it's a neighborhood, so it's nothing happens. Like we don't have that much of the crime. I won't say this is heaven and earth. You know, we're still gonna have any crime, but Boquete or I mean, you gotta be really in a bad sketchy area, so something like that to happen.
Yeah, most of the gated communities, number one, they look after all the maintenance and everything. Number two,
that's the benefits. Yeah.
when you travel, their security people
Yes.
look after your place, and you know that's the biggest benefit of people. But
But if you live in a neighborhood, like if you live here, if you're our neighbor, say, hey, Oscar, I'm going for a week or a month. You got better security.
Yeah, same thing here. Now let us share the screen here. This is something I like to talk about because we don't talk about it a lot.
Oh, the statistics, yeah.
Which one am I sharing? Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Nationmaster.com. They track crime rates around the world. And this one here is total crimes per 1,000 people. And you'll see Canada is number 10. Oh, I was surprised. US is 22nd on the list. There's 41 crimes per every 1,000 people annually. In Panama, you'll find way down here in 64th with 6 crimes per 1,000 people. There are many, like when I decided to move to Panama, I use sites like Nation Masters. I use sites like, trying to think of the other one, just Google World Crime Stats. And you'll find out that Panama's crime rate is actually almost like small town USA. It is quite a bit less than what I was expecting moving down here. I've never felt unsafe here. I lived in the city for 3 years, right downtown. I've walked home from the restaurants and bars at midnight by myself.
Yeah.
It's not really a problem because there's a bank in every corner with 2 security guards, so you know it makes it kind of safe. Here in Boquete, I've never felt compromised. So I've had this petty crime. I had a propane tank stolen from my front yard that runs right next to me. So that happens everywhere.
That's what we call in Colombian and Spanish to give papaya. You know, to put yourself in a situation that it's just like only if you're naive enough to, you know, a tank, no chain, nothing.
Yeah,
easy
that costs
access,
$70 to buy. Yeah,
easy peasy to sell for anybody.
Yeah.
So, but the security or the crime is, or in our neighborhood is, we live in a regular local neighborhood, and I can feel fine walking by myself, or my fiance can walk by herself, no problem. At nighttime, daytime, no problem.
Okay, from Maxine, is there a neighborhood in the Coronado area that's easily walkable? So we like walking to shops, walking to groceries.
Well, the best one is Coronado, all the Coronado area, because it's walkable.
Yeah, like Mike, can you walk to the grocery store from where you live?
That is
Well,
store there.
Not really. I mean, I could, of course, but it's probably not walkable.
But you're right in the resort, right?
Yeah, I'm inside the resort.
Yeah, but there are Coronado neighborhoods.
Oh, yeah.
that are,
Yeah, that's. I mean, you could take a taxi for $1.
Yeah.
The golf cart. A lot of people have golf carts.
But you know, I don't like. You guys probably don't know this. I'm kind of a back end guy. If you're on the tours, I meet you on day 4 at the beach. So I don't go to Cornell every month or twice a month like Oscar does, so I'm not there a lot. But are there neighborhoods that expats live, like around Ray and places like that?
Yeah, I mean, there are places that you could walk to the grocery store in Coronado, but me personally, I'm kind of tucked inside the resort. I mean, I could walk it, probably take me half an hour.
Yeah, but you can walk to the golf course. Though.
It's right out my back door.
In less words, it is
It's
options.
priorities.
It is options. Of course, Coronado area is huge, but inside the gated community, there is convenient stores. You can get all the basics. You go to the main grocery store like Ray, like a big one. Then you just get a cab, or hey, maybe your neighbor will take you. Easy, because everyone is really cool there.
Okay. Deb Thomas. Well, hi, Deb. Yes, I do remember you, Deb. Yes, I'm going to make an announcement now. I've been holding out on this. Everyone thinks we're sold out until April. We put a new tour on January 7th to 14th. It's half full, but because I took some people from August, when we canceled August, and moved them into there. So if anyone's looking to come on our tour, you can come in the next 6 months. Just come at the beginning of January, celebrate New Year's, and it's the best time, whatever. You're going to be here during summer. So just go to retireandpanamatours.com, click on tours, and you'll see it's the first tour there.
We'll love you to have it.
So I know we've always said, and we have to, we are committed to service with our
I never
company.
say that.
What, you're not committed to service?
Oh yeah. You know, if I like it, you know, I'm just.
No, we don't want to overdo. Maxine's laughing her head off there. We don't want to oversell, because at the end of the year, we don't want to have 700 people that we can't answer their questions. So, but this year in January and moving forward, we might have a few months where we're doing 2 tours of 10, just because we haven't been doing them.
Yeah.
And so we might be doing a little more. It's not going to affect us. We're still going to, it's a year from now, it's still going to be that 70 to 100 people that we help bring to.
I'm okay to sacrifice myself for you guys.
Yeah.
I will put that one for the team.
Yeah, so we are taking 21 bookings right now. And then we have some in April, May, June. Okay. Can you retire in Panama on a Social Security income of $2,000 a month and be comfortable?
What does that mean, being comfortable?
Well, yeah, single or double or couple.
And type of lifestyle.
Do you want to live in a gated community? No, you can't. You want to live like Oscar and I live? Yeah. Oh, yeah. You'll be more than comfortable.
Yep.
We both live in a Panamanian neighborhood, 1,000, 1,200 square foot, 2-story homes on quarter-acre fence properties, and our rents are $500 a month.
Yep.
So you can compare that. So you could, like on $2,000 a month, that's, you know, if you're a single, it'd be tons.
Yeah.
Our healthcare, a couple $100 set per person for healthcare. I've had people, I know people living here in 1,200, that's tight. You might be in David or in Las Tablas at a $300 to $400 a month place, very Panamanian style. But 2,000 is
it's very feasible.
Comfortable, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very feasible.
But if you're looking for a 1,500 square foot 3-bedroom bungalow with granite countertops and stainless steel appliances, no, you're not going to live like that. Mm-hmm. If you're looking for something basic, yes.
I think wants to confirm.
Okay. All right, does the $5,800 for a couple get you the Friendly Nation visa, include the cost of setting? Yes, it does. Yeah, that's when I quote cost, I'm very unlike most Panamanian lawyers. And our lawyer that we recommend is also like this. It's all inclusive. It's the final number. So at the end of it, you don't get a bill for $400 for photocopying like most lawyers here do. So that $5,800 is all the lawyer's fees, the government fees, the corporation fees, and blah, 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 all that stuff. The only thing it does, and that gets you your Friendly Nations visa. The work visa is a whole nother process after you get that visa, and it costs $500, and that's all just government fees basically. So, and that takes another few months. But yes, that includes everything. I've heard that sometimes people are able to buy and exist. Okay, buying an existing corporation. People get in trouble. If it's fresh, a few months old, yes, do it. But here in Panama, every year you owe $600 in fees for your corporation. 300 is called what they call tasa única. In the US, that's called annual tax filing. And then 300 is your residency agency fee, which goes to the lawyer for doing absolutely nothing. But it's required by Panama law to have a lawyer set up a corporation for you and have a lawyer as a resident agent. So if you see one for sale, a person says, hey, I used it last year, and if they didn't pay that tasa única fee, there's already a $500 fine. If they didn't file their taxes, even if it's zero, you still have to file. My accountant charges me $25 to file my taxes. If you don't file, it's a $100 fine, right?
Something like that, yeah.
So I've seen people buy used corporations for $1,000, and they find out they owe $1,700 in fees. So unless you know who's buying it, or who's selling it, or where it came from, I would really, because what you also have to do, every Panama corporation requires three directors. You have to remove those 3 directors and instill 3 new directors, people you know, you and people you know. That's also a charge. And most lawyers charge like $150 to do each one. So buying a used corporation, can be touchy. We have so many questions, Oscar. How do we get so many questions? Which is great. Okay, sorry, didn't mean to. Oh, hey, no problem, Dave. Sorry, and can you terminate the? Yes. If you're coming in friendly nations, you're not planning on running a business, you terminate your corporation in your first year, and then you don't have to pay all those fees. And that I think only costs $300.
Yep. So after you just end it.
Yeah.
And you keep your residency.
Your lawyer, well, they should. They typically don't. They're terrible here in details. Most lawyers in Panama won't even send you an invoice for their residency agent fee, but you still owe it to them. And they won't pay your tasa única unless you pay them first. So our lawyer, you're going to get notifications, you're going to get text messages, you're going to get emails when all those things are due. And they're also going to tell you when you set up a friendly nations. Okay, they're going to get with you 6 months later. Are you using this corporation? No, let's wind it down. So you don't get hit with all those fees. Diane wants her 700 square foot, 2-bedroom, 1-bath cottage in Boquete. Yeah, lots of those around here.
Yep.
How is the health care in the area?
Okay, that's the question we always get. And that's one I usually take. I actually have it. I get that a lot. The health care, the private health care in Panama is excellent. It's world class. Everyone describes it. Everyone I know that's ended up in a situation, world class. And we got people, friends who have experienced and stuff like that. But you need insurance, or if you self-insured, you need a bunch of money in the bank. It is obviously a lot cheaper than the U.S., even like the private here. A lot of people come here to have procedures done and spend less than what their copay and deductible is back in the U.S. So, but most people, expats living down here, have some type of insurance. And there's 3 types of insurance you can get. You can get full international healthcare coverage with low or no deductibles in Panama, and $2,000 to $5,000 deductibles worldwide. Now, the rates, depending on your age, I'm going to go with someone average 65, $300 to $400 a month. If you're 55, that's going to be $150 to $200 a month. So if you're 75, that's going to be $600 a month. So, but that's like, that's everything. I know a lot of you Americans, I had someone email me today that they pay $800 a month for healthcare. They're 62, and that's not unnormal. Well, they got a quote from our, I can't name names obviously, but our person we work with, and it goes down to 300. Here's the difference. In the States, they're 7,500 deductible with a 20% copay. Here, it's a 0 deductible with no copay at $300 a month. So it's a big difference. But you got to make sure you have, if you have serious pre-existing conditions, you're not going to get one of those plans. They just won't cover you. That's all there is to it. Serious is diabetes that you take insulin every day for. Serious is you just had it, need your organ replaced. You know, so there's not a lot of serious stuff. If you have high blood pressure and take pills for it, that's not a pre-existing condition. There are other options here for local coverage. You can get a 65-year-old for $102 a month can get local coverage at private hospitals with a 30% copay. So let's say you go in for appendicitis and it's $5,000, you would have to pay, I picked something that doesn't divide by 3. You'd have to pay $1,666 or whatever that number is, right? Yeah. So, and then you can get catastrophic insurance, which is also very cheap, which is under $100 a month, and it pays up to $50,000 for catastrophic stuff: heart attacks, strokes, cancers, trauma, accidents, blood diseases, transplants, stuff like that. So none of these you cannot get until you're in the process of residency. So don't even try, because I've had people ask, and if I get to the questions, they might be here because they might say, why don't I get worldwide health insurance from Panama instead of paying my US health insurance? It doesn't work that way. You got to be a resident here, and you're going to have to prove your residency if you have an out of the country emergency. So you're going to have to prove that you do actually live here 6 months out of the year. So I hope that answered your question. I lost where that question was. Oh, there we go.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, perfect. If you want detailed information, you can. I got details on different plans available. Just email me after the call. Okay. Tentative visit. Yeah. How far out is getting a date in 2021 for a tour? January. Sorry, I haven't looked to see if anyone's. Okay, okay, we got bookings. People are on this call are going to, I'm not going to mention names, but they are. So if you want January, I would get it tonight or it might be gone. How do you pay services when out of the country? What methods are available? Wire transfer, credit cards. Most of the lawyers will take your credit card. They have international wire transfers, stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
What else? English-speaking churches, there is options. In the main towns like Boquete, Panama City, of course. Coronado, I'm not sure. Mike, there is English services in Coronado? Yes, there is.
Several options, different denominations as well.
Beautiful. I'm pretty sure in Pedacit they do it too, because there is a very important influence of the expats there. But there is options. There is options in Panama for English church services.
Okay. We are getting near wrapping this call up. I see there's a countdown on my upper screen there. That means on the hour call here. So they haven't cut us off. That's good. So let's do a wrap up. If I missed anything in the chat, goodness. Like, I don't understand this Zoom thing. I have this huge screen. I can see all your wonderful faces. The chat is this tiny, tiny print on my monitor that I can't make any bigger.
They're so generous with the video and everything, but so cheap.
With this tiny chat system that doesn't get bigger. Yeah. Anyway, so if I missed anything, speak out now.
Well, you can always send us an email. We will reply. And thank you.
Okay,
by the
so
way, for your time.
Yeah, we want to thank you for your time. Anyone thinking of coming with us? Dave, How are you? I see you there sitting there just wanting to get in on the conversation.
David's just counting the days to teach me how to do a good barbecue or decent barbecue.
Dave and Bridget was on our 2019 tour.
First tour.
What's that?
First tour.
Yeah. Yeah, on our first group tour that we actually launched. If you can
and 50% of those people have already moved to Panama, and 50%
yeah. It was a small tour, but anyways, they are definitely want to join us down here. They're from Seattle area. So just for people thinking of coming down here, do it themselves, take a tour. Do you mind giving them your 30-second wrap up of why they would even want to join two crazy guys like this?
I don't know.
We spent 3 years going to Costa Rica and searching Costa Rica, trying to figure out if it was a place for us. And I had signed up for the tour, and Bridget couldn't come because she was working. I was already retired. And eventually she came because the company she worked for stopped working. So we spent 7 days on the tour. And we learned more in those 7 days about Panama and different areas than we did in 3 years on our own in Costa Rica. So yeah, you can fly into Panama City and get a car and try to drive around. Good luck getting out of Panama City. But having somebody run the tour, no stresses, everything's taken care of. And somebody like Oscar, who's fairly competent and understands the language a little bit, really made it easy to like look at all these areas and be able to sit back and kind of decide what we wanted to do next. Unfortunately, we waited too long to jump across the border before they closed the airport. So now we're just waiting for the airport to open and we'll be there.
Cool. Thanks, Dave. And the big thing is it doesn't end on the tour with us. How many times have we talked since the tour?
That's very true.
Yeah. We have Zoom meetings.
Try not to bug you too much, but you know, you guys have been really good about questions and referrals. We've already engaged the lawyer, but we've kind of slowed down since.
Yeah.
Once you get documents, there's that ticking clock. So we've kind of backed onto that, off of that, and waiting to see what happens. I feel like from what I read and what you guys told me, and the lawyer, we can pretty much do all of our paperwork from Panama because they have an expediter that they use to do the FBI checks.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, you know, it's not the same thing. Like we have Donna on the call here with us. I wasn't on one of our tours. When you decide to move here, we're going to be there for you. We're going to have one of these Zoom conversations, not with 50 to 75 people on. There'll just be the 3 or 4 or 5 of us. And we're going to walk through all the steps. This is what you need. This is the procedures we got to get done because everyone's situation is a little bit different. Some people have pets, some people have homes, some people have furniture, some people, you know, everyone's situation is different. So this just turned into like an ad. I never like to do that on the call. So it's turned into an advertisement. We're fun to be with. That's why you should come with us.
Well, this is not a tour. It is an experience.
Some of you I know are already here because I recognize some of the names. It's not that we're going to sit here and give away free advice, and the people on the tour have to pay for it. No, but if you're here and you're stuck on something, we believe in giving, and it comes back to us somehow. So you know. Give us a shout. Give us a call. Give us an email. We can, if you're stuck and you can't find the right person to help you with something, maybe we can help you.
Maybe. We'll do the best we can.
If we can't, we'll tell you. All right. So we're going to end it on that note, unless anyone has a last minute thing, because now I got 5 minutes left. I don't know. Something's going on with Zoom tonight. It usually gives us an hour and a half, but it's not allowing that.
If anybody wants to save the chat, they can click on the little dots down on the very bottom and they can save all the chat messages and information in there.
Yeah, I'm going to send you that out tomorrow on the email. Oh,
great.
From a Facebook link or something that didn't register, if you want to get that email, make sure you go to retireinpanamatours.com and just pop your email in that little slot on the right-hand side. And then you'll get the email tomorrow with the recording, with all the notes, with how to bring your dogs here, with the chat menu, with Mike's homes for sale and homes for rent, everything you need. Okay?
Thanks,
Yeah,
guys. Really enjoyed it.
All righty.
Thank you so much for your precious time.
Right,
And
thank
I
you.
hope you guys get to come here. Dave, Bridget, please, Donna. We're waiting for Donna here too.
We're waiting.
Thank you.
We're waiting for Carl and John. They can't make up their mind.
Okay. Guys, come on. I was
Thanks,
sitting there.
guys.
You were not there. Come on.
You guys soon, hopefully.
Yeah, really. Okay, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Ciao.